Oh, hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a good night. It's always good. It's always good to be with you guys. It's always good to be here. And so tonight we are looking at Elijah. It's been a week. Okay, we just came from another publication. We just came from another show, and that was good. We had a great guest. He might join us again, and that was good. And I want to say thank you off the top to Amy Duran for the $20 super sticker. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. And I pray that y'all will add that to your household and then some. Thank you for thinking of me and mine. William Craig, hello, good evening. And my Sister Fran, hello again, Sandy Aaron. Well, you guys, we talked about the encouragement of y'all on the other channel, just basically saying that, you know what, it's not for us to even worry about tomorrow or anything else. It's all for us to do what he would have for us to do. It's for us to make sure that we are giving him praise and glory and not worrying about anything. And so today we're going to look at a very familiar story. We are looking at the story of Elijah. Now, you know, he was fed by ravens. And then after all of the water in the brook went away, he went into a city. So he had to be very, very obedient, right? And that's what we're talking about today. So my guest is here with me. Hello. How are you, Anthony? It's so good to see you. Good to see you. Huh?
So good to be seen.
We can
You
see
look,
your glasses like I can see the reflection on mine too.
this kid's quirky and corny, and I'm looking for the real time neck hug over the
Hmm.
virtual electronic middleman. Even though we know that creator once again is the Mac Daddy of the EMF phenomenon. And
That's right. Hello, Steve Willis, the executive producer of the channel. I want to tell you hello and welcome, kind sir. Glad you could make it. So, yeah, we're going to look at it. We're going to look at Elijah. We're going to look at exactly, how that plays a role in our lives. And it's important for us to right now just to continue to encourage each other. And that's what we're going to do. At every chance that we can, we're going to continue to encourage each other and lift one another up, especially right now. Because like we said earlier, you could easily just turn everything off that was so easily slide you off of what Yah has for you. You could just turn it all off. Turn it all off, block it all out, all out, all out. Don't even listen to it. Take it and get rid of it. So that way you can focus on what he has planned for you. All right. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to take a glance and a good gander right over here in Kings. I believe it's Kings is where we're going. Yeah, it is. Okay, this is where we are. Ravens fed Elijah. You see that? Isn't that amazing? Yes, that's what happened. So let's just familiarize ourselves with the story because it's important for us to keep his word on the tip of our mind. And that's our job for one another. If ever there's anything wrong with me and I get up and I want to talk to you about what's going on, I want you to listen for a second and then I want you to remind me of the word. You know why? That recharges me. It does. It takes me back to a place where I understand that he has made provisions for me. And even as much as I trust my friend that I'm chatting with at that moment and I'm giving you the woes of my life, when you bring me back that word, it gets me right where I'm supposed to be. So the ravens feed Elijah. This is coming from 1 Kings 17 and the first verse. You know, it says, Now Elijah the Tishbite was among the settlers of Gilead. And he said to Ahab, As surely as the Lord lives, the God of Yasharal, before whom I stand, there will be neither dew nor rain in these years except at my word. Then a revelation from the Lord came to Elijah, Leave here, turn eastward, go hide yourself by the brook of Cherith, east of the Jordan, and you are to drink from the brook, and I've commanded the ravens to feed you there. So he did what Yah told him to do. And then he went and he lived by the brook of Cherith, east of the Jordan. And the ravens would bring him bread and meat in the morning and in the evening, and he would drink from the brook. Sometime later, look at this, he sustained him for a good little while. But it says sometime later, however, the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. Now we go to verse 8 and it says, Now the widow, well, first of all, I want to stop there. Do you want to add anything, Anthony, before I go any further in this? Because this is about to get really juicy.
yeah,
Hello, pretty sister.
yep. Maybe spiritual Wi-Fi. I'll add that compound word: spiritual goo and spiritual Wi-Fi.
Okay. Okay. So
Mm.
yeah, so but look at this how he says, "Okay, I want you to go and I want you to do this, and when you get there, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen." But if he hadn't done what he told him to do, first of all, he was expecting it, right? Because he told him what to expect. He said, "You go and then I'm going to have the ravens. They're going to hook you up. They're going to take good care of you." Right? And then after that, he did it. So it first took him to see what Yah told him to do, and then after that, it took his obedience to what Yah told him to do. I think that's what I really wanted to drive home before we go on to the second portion. So it goes on to say here that, and then the word of Yah, hello, Maureen, the word of Yah came to Elijah, get up and go to Zarephath of Sidon, and stay there. Behold, I have commanded a widow there to provide from you. Again, he's doing what he told him to do. Not everybody has to be obedient to Yah. They have to, first of all, hear his voice and know that it's him. They do, because you're not going to follow anybody else's voice if you're his. And so they both did what they were supposed to do. She was commanded. She was commanded. She was commanded. So it says, I've commanded a widow there to provide for you. So Elijah got up and went to Zarephath, and when he arrived at that city's gate, there was a widow gathering sticks. Elijah called to her and said, please bring me a little water in a cup so that I might drink. And as she was going to get it, he called her and said, hey, you know what also? Please bring me a piece of bread. Someone have me some bread and water. But she replied, as surely as the Lord your God lives, I have no bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. Look, I'm out here gathering a couple of sticks right now to take home and prepare my meal for my son and I, that we may eat it and die. Now, this is a very familiar story. It is a familiar story. And so some would say, well, why would you read such a familiar story? Why would you just read such a familiar story? Because you know what? While we are reading this familiar story, it's important for us to remember so that we can hold on to what Yah says for us today. That's why it's important to read this familiar story, because as adult thinkers, we have to go by what's repeated over and over again. So I want you to hold on to hope. And when you see me losing hope, I want you to say, Felicia, don't let go of hope. I'm just the one with the big mouth. Let me look at y'all. I'm the sister that does the talking. Okay? I'm no different than you. I breathe, I walk, I talk, I drink my grapefruit juice with nothing in it. Now, I'm no different. So I need you, you need me. And we're encouraging each other right now. We're lifting each other up right now. We're building each other up right now. We're helping each other stand up on our most holy faith, on our most separated faith, because the walk that's ahead of us is one that we're going to have to equip ourselves with the word. So iron sharpens iron. You sharpen me. You get me together when I need to be gotten together. And I'm here to get you together when you need to be gotten together, because I love you and you love me. Do you understand? This is reciprocal. So yes, that's why we're repeating this story over and over again. All right. So when he tells her, hey, I want you to bring me some bread. Bring me a little bit of bread. What does she say? Well, I guess I can, but I'm going to tell you right now, I have these sticks. And the reason why I have these sticks is because we're going to eat our food and then we're going to go ahead and get ready to die. That's why I'm gathering these sticks. But what was the next thing? Because remember, Yah had already told the man, Anthony, that he had commanded her to be waiting for him, pretty much. All right. Don't know how the story goes, where he heard exactly what was said, how she heard exactly what was said by Yah. But we do know Yah said that he told her, go on out there. I got somebody waiting to help you. All right.
Yeah.
So you see what I mean?
Yep.
That's deep, right?
Yup. And as you say, we first have to discern that it's Yah's word.
Mm-hmm.
So, boy, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, perhaps in the material world comes in handy then, because we see the reflection of us following the word in our actions in that material world, in that playing field. That it proves our mettle, our choice or not, in our actions. How are we following that? How do we know we're hearing the right word, the right vibration? We're getting the right spiritual Wi-Fi, reflected through the actions of our relationships and interactions with others. It's vehicled through others, that truth. Interesting. So collaboration is all over solution for sure. All together.
All together. All
Mm,
together. You see? You see? So this is getting good. The word is getting good. So let's go ahead and finish the word. All right. So it goes on here. Let me repeat a little bit of this. But she replied, as surely as the Lord your God lives, I have no bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. Look, I'm out here gathering these 2 sticks to take home and prepare a meal for my son and for me, that we may eat it and die. Now, what does he say? He's going to prove to her that Yah had her on his mind when Yah told her, take care of this cat that's coming, because I'm sending him. Okay? I know that's a little bit of colloquialism, but you know me. So I got to add a little spice in there. I want you to take care of the man that's coming because I'm sending him. All right? All right? So what did he tell her? Hey, look here. Don't be afraid, Elijah said to her. I want you to go and do as I've said. Go be obedient. All right? But first, make me a small cake of bread from what you have. And then I want you to bring it out to me afterward. Make some for yourself and your son. For this is what Yah, this is what Yahweh, this is what Yah, this is what he told you to do. This is what he says. Quote, the jar of flour will not be exhausted, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends the rain upon the face of the earth. So she went in and did according to what Elijah said, and there was food every day. Why? Because she was obedient. There was food every day for Elijah and the woman and her household. The jar of flour was not exhausted, and the jug of oil did not run dry. Why? Because of obedience, according to the word that Yahweh had spoken through Elijah. Not only did he take care of the food in the household, but the next passage of the story we all know so very well. Elijah raises the widow's son. Later, the son of the woman who owned the house became ill, and his sickness grew worse and worse, until no breath remained in him. "O man of God," said the woman to Elijah, "what have you done to me? Have you come to remind me of my iniquity and cause the death of my son? Have you come here to bring back to me everything that I've done and all the stuff that I've thrown out here? Have you come to kill my child?" But Elijah said to her, "Give me your son." So he took him from her arms, carried him to the upper room where he was staying, and laid on him on his bed. Then he cried out, "Lord, O Lord, my God, have you also brought tragedy on this widow who has opened her home to me by causing her son to die?" And then he stretched himself out over the child 3 times and cried out to the Lord, "O Lord, my God, please let this boy's life return to him." And the Lord listened to the voice of Elijah, and the child's life returned to him, and he lived. And then Elijah took the child and brought him down from the upper room into the house and gave him to his mother. "Look, your son is alive," Elijah declared. Then the woman said unto Elijah, "Now I know that you are a man of God, that the word of the Lord from your mouth is true, and that the word of the Lord from your mouth is true." Why? Not only did Yah prepare her to let her know there's going to be a man that I'm sending for you to take care of. And when he get there, I want you to make sure you take good care of him now. Show some southern hospitality, like I know you know how. Because when he comes, he's coming because I sent him. So there's some obedience. And on top of some obedience, there's some faith. This is like a delicious pie, all put together, wouldn't you say, Anthony? Don't you think that this is some great fixins for a pie?
So you feel the back and forth of having faith and questioning faith, and how it plays out in the back and forth of that. It includes others because um, what was Elijah? You said
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
comes comes to assist. So we need each other, and it
Mm-hmm.
shows redemption. Like because we fall out of faith, but he says, "No, give me that child." Collaboration, and that faith never gives up if you don't give up on faith. And plays out that way to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the back and
Mm-hmm.
forth is allowed. It's included. We're not
Yeah,
perfect. By
that's right.
our own destiny, perfection, we're not perfect. Good thing. If we're perfect, I wouldn't have to say, Felicia, how are you today? I'd already know you're perfect, and vice
There you
versa.
go.
The dynamic wouldn't be there. Yeah, the dynamic was divinely designed. Remembering that is not so easy in the fray of the day. Yet when we do, it seems, we temper it with faith. We go, oh, right, right. This is designed to be this way. I need to catch up to the wave. Sometimes it's a kick in the behind, Sometimes it's a snowy day. Yet it's part and apropos to spiritual design to begin with. It created it all, the whole plan. Fascinating. So the back and
It
forth
is
is
fascinating.
collaboration is there. The advocacy is there. The don't give up is there. Um, yeah, we need each other. People
We
bridging
need
people
each other.
and faith.
That's right. That's right. We need each other. I'm gonna play a little snippet of a show that we did a few months ago, and oh goodness gracious, I really have to look for it because it was our praise night, and I want to show a little story that you guys. I'm gonna remind you of this story because it was our sister that shared it. And let me turn this off because I hear me over here. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Because it was such a good story. It was very simplistic. But like I said earlier today, the simplistic things are the things that I believe just just take the cake. Here it
Often
is right
very
here.
simple, right?
You know what
Hope
I mean? Yeah.
walk in the parallel universe of it. Yeah, well, possibly. The quantum
Mhm.
mechanics you can never do in the lab and you can never do in the practical day works on the blackboard, right?
Mhm.
That sort of thing.
Mhm.
And seeing it all. Yeah, it's just the
Here it
duality
is.
of seeing it. Go ahead.
Here it
Yep.
is. Let me see if
Yep.
I can find it where she was telling her beautiful story. Let me see. Is she here telling the story yet? Here it is. Here is the story. Oh, it's a very sweet, gentle story. It's nothing over the top.com. It's nothing like, oh my goodness, it's just ground shaking. No, this story was very sweet. Let me take you here. Let me roll it back right here. Okay, let me pause it because I want you guys to see it. Share this instead. Okay, go. Here. So we've heard the great testimony by our sister. Let's bring her back on right quick there. Hello. And we have a lot of comments. There's also a very good comment here that is from Melinda Ann Burns. And she said, guess God has got a lot of work for me to do, and I'm 70, or he's got a lot more to teach me. And I think that's with regards to this testimony here. I'm back so many, many life blessings from healthy babies after so many miscarriages to cancer cured. You want to come on and sit on the panel with Amy and I? It's all friends. We don't bite, at least not on Friday night. I like that. It sort of rhymed. See what I did there? All right, you guys. So, yes. So now tell us, how did that make your daughter feel? Because you said your daughter was in the car with you. Is that correct? Okay. I'm going to
Yes, and
pause
my
it.
son.
And your son. Tell us about. I'm going to pause it because this story is a powerful story. Just a second. And let me set the story up and tell you why it's apropos for now and why it is a powerful story. Because it's a very small and gentle, meek, sweet story. Okay? Believe it or not, this is Amy. And Amy, I want to thank you for the love offering you just gave me. Ironically, I don't know if you knew that we were going to show this right now, but thank you so very much. Let me tell you why the story hits home with me. It hits home with me because she tells a story of showing love, being obedient, and showing love. and you never know what the other person might be going through. So we're going to come off the screen right now, and we're going to let you guys see this. All right. Let me come back over here. So I make sure that I'm at the right place. Hold on, go. And remember who it was that made it possible for us to breathe and to live and to just have our being, and that is no one but the Father, and He is the only one. So we've heard the great testimony by our sister. Let's bring her back on right quick there. Hello. And we have a lot of comments. There's also a very good comment here that is from Melinda Ann Burns. And she said, guess God has got a lot of work for me to do, and I'm 70, or He's got a lot more to teach me. And I think, oh, how sweet.
Um, and so he said, thank you. 20s maybe.
Praise and testimony time. And I know that I'm excited because we have none other than one of our co-laborers with us, and that is Amy Duran. C-Max says hello, and Melinda Ann, hello. We are excited. She's coming to give us some more good news about what's going on in her life. And I want to say hello and welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And it's great to have you. So tell us all about it.
Okay, so I'm not sure quite. It's been within the year.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my two kids went. I was taking my daughter to work, and we stopped at a Bojangles to pick up lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in line. We order our food, which was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so when I was pulling around to the side of the building up to go up to the window to pay, I heard the Holy Spirit say, "Pay for the person behind you." And so we got to the window, and the girl at the window, she was early 20s maybe. She wasn't rude, but she didn't look very happy. And so I just smiled, and after I paid for ours, I said I'd like to pay for the person behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me like I was stupid. But I said, no, I would like to pay for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. And she said, pull up to the white line.
Mm-hmm.
We'll bring out your food.
Okay.
So I look, and the guy behind me pulls up to the window to pay. And he goes to hand his credit card. And she explained to him that we had paid for his. And they had kind of a long conversation. So then I see the guy hand her his card again. So he paid for the person behind him.
Wow.
And so he got his food. He pulls up next to us,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just grinning ear to ear.
Oh, how sweet.
And so he said, thank you. I paid for the lady behind me.
Oh, wow.
And I said, have a blessed day. And he took off. So I'm watching the lady that's in line next.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. She goes to hand him her credit card.
Mm-hmm. Because you're still waiting for your food, so you get to see the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so the lady pulls her card back, and the girl at the window is explaining what just happened. And she's all waving to the guy that was pulled off. And so then I see her hand the girl her credit card back. So she pays for the people behind her. So there was like 5 vehicles that it continued, at least. They brought our food out and we left. But it was in the time of the whole racial.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And so the girl at the window was black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm white.
Mm-hmm.
The guy behind me was black.
Okay.
The lady behind him was white.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The person behind her was black, and so on.
Wow.
And so God uses us in little ways,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a blessing.
It really is. And the way you're telling the story is really showing you that it doesn't matter who it is. When Yah blesses you, it's a blessing. But look at how that was a white person, a black person, a white person, a black person. This was like he was injecting himself in whatever it was going on, because you're in Georgia at that time. You know what I mean? And there were
Exactly.
so many things over the last 2 years that have gone on that have just caused us unbelievable hardship and makes us uncomfortable. We don't know how to address one another. We don't know how to talk with one another. We don't know what we can or what we cannot say. And I think that it's because of stories that have been told to us, or people who want us to believe a certain way or want us to believe different things about our neighbors, things that are not true. And for you to come and share that story just to tell us exactly what's really going on is it's exciting. I want to say hello to some people. So let's say hi. And that is why I wanted to show that story. Because she was obedient, right? Because of Amy's obedience, she blessed somebody else, that blessed somebody else, that blessed somebody else. And that is what the story in 1 Kings 17 does for me. It lets me know that just by virtue of being obedient to what he tells me to do and what he shares with me to do for someone else, it blesses somebody else. But listen, what she did started a chain reaction. And that's how I feel we should do it every day. Every time something bad happens, throw it out the window. It's not easy. I'm not telling you something that is easy to do, but when it comes to something that's happened that's bad, throw it out the window. Throw it out the window and do something good. Watch how supercharged the environment around you will become. Do you see why I had to share that, Anthony? Because it was a beautiful story. It was a story that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to love somebody, and it doesn't matter what the guy behind me looks like. He's got blood in his veins. He's a living, breathing person. You never know what this cat had, in his heart or what was going on with him on that particular day. But here's the deal. Maybe, just maybe, he needed to be shown Yah's love. Just maybe. He needed to be shown. I know everybody needs it, but just maybe that day, he was saying, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do, but let me go ahead and get this little bit of food and go on. It's either eat or it's either get gas. So let me get me a $2.50 biscuit and maybe put $3 in my gas tank. We never ever know what somebody was experiencing, but because of her obedience, Yah blessed her, him, and everybody else in that line behind, because you never know. Oh, that story to me, that's the reason why I just had to get it out there, because even though the story with the woman whose son passed on in First Kings was dealing with something, like, hey, 2 sticks, this is it. I already know what I got in the pantry. I know I ain't got nothing else left. But this is the story of faith. This is a story of obedience. What do you think about that, Anthony?
Yeah, faith is shown in the obedience, proofed out in the putting of the body language of what we do. As I say, we proof that put in our end user what we do via body machine reflects that obedience or not. Fascinating, great metaphor, great story that lays that out. Yeah, and it's that pendulum swing. When you have faith and it's in your body language, the end user body language, what we do body machine, and when we don't, it's so spiritually apropos and kind of caricatured cliche all at the same time that it's in the way too much luck and skill
Mm-hmm.
category. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
by
Yeah.
anchoring and laying that out, it's
I
there.
love it. I love good stories. I was sitting here thinking about a good story, and then I thought, wait a minute, we got a good story. We got a couple of good stories. And you know what? I'm going to play this one because it just does my heart good. See, I'm that person that if you get a brand new car, I'm the one over in the corner cheering for you. I'm the one that if you needed a job and we had, went to y'all and we petitioned and we, stood together and you stood in the gap for me once and I'm standing in the gap for you once and I believe with you that you're going to get that good job. When you get that job, I'm the person that's celebrating. I'm celebrating out like it was mine. Why? Because I want to see good come to you. I want to see good come to my brothers and my sisters. And it literally makes me happy. And those feel good stories are the stories that we need to hold on to. Those are the stories that we need to tell as much as we can. Talk about the goodness of our Father. Talk about the redemptive things that He's done in your life. Tell somebody about how good He is today. Tell somebody about how good He was to you yesterday. I always say that if you can't think of nothing today, think of something that He did once upon a time. Why? Because He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And these are the things that we hold on to in the middle of the night when don't nobody else answer their phone. We hold on to what He's done for us. Okay? So I know that if I've had problems and others have had problems, that there are more problems that we can have to come as long as we are attached to this here earth suit. As long as we in this earth suit, baby, we gonna have some stuff go on. All right? We're going to have some stuff go on. Trust and believe we are. But as long as we know that we know that we know that we know that our Father is on the throne and He's taking care of us, we ain't got nothing to worry about. And I do mean that I do not care what it is. When I tell you I was knocked on my bottom today, hey, but I know He's able. I know He's able. And when I hear stories like that, I think a lot deeper. My mind always goes to, that person could have just been ready to take that last little bit of meal and gone over in the corner and do only y'all knows what. You were going to say something, Anthony. Go ahead. Did I lose my brother?
No, there we are. We're back.
Okay, there we are. We're back.
Electronic hiccup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Say again, sister.
No, I'm just saying, it's just like, I just get excited when I think about the stuff that He does for us and how He comes up and just shows up. And that story with the widow woman was a double whammy. Why? Because the first thing is she was getting ready. She had been first given the commandment to take care of this man she didn't even know. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is, during all of that, she did what He asked her to do. And then He come back and she goes, well, wait a minute. Did you do this and have me bring this man in my house for my son to die? Is that what's really going on? He said, hey, you know what? Chill out. I got this. So He was not only showing her the blessings of the obedience, but He was also showing her what He can do for you when you are. Hey, because she was obedient, it worked her faith to a point where she realized that, yes, y'all spoke to me and told me this was going to happen. There is God. Because remember, there's a very pivotal piece she said. Your God. Okay, very pivotal piece. And we're going to save that part for Ronnie because he's not able to come on right now, but he will. And we're going to leave that piece for him because he can get real good and deep with that. All right. But the deal is that it showed her, hey, I'm out here getting these twigs. And this is the man that's asking me for water, but he's also asking me for something to eat. Okay. Let me just be obedient and let me see what happens next. So she did what she was supposed to do. And then after that, everything was cool. They were eating, but then the baby passed on. And when the baby passed on, automatically, oh my goodness, that's what we do. Oh my goodness, we forget the last thing He brought us through. We forget the last triumph He brought us over, the last mountain He helped us scale. Okay, we forget about that. And then we go, oh no, what happened? What did I do? That's what she said. Did you come here to bring all of my former sins on me? What's really going on? I did what you told me to do. And now look, don't we do that? Yes, we do. I'm running around here trying to do this Sabbath day. I'm not cooking on this particular day. I'm only cooking on this day, and I'm only doing this on this day, and I'm not going over here and not doing that. This goes and happens, da 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 da. And then we get our little hands on our hips, and I this and this and that. Oh boy. Pipe down, sister. That's what He says. Pipe down. I got you. Hold up a minute. Chill out. Let me take this child. Let me handle this. And another testimony within the testimony was manifested in her life right then. She began to see the powerful hand of Yah. And then she began to say, wait a minute. Where and why did I get this? Why did this happen to me? Why did he bless me? Because of your obedience, sis. Brother, it was your obedience. Because you feared him at that moment and you trusted him at that moment and you let him be who he was. And you sat back and said, okay, no problem. So that's what we have to do. We cannot, if it's the TV that's getting you, if it is the news reports and you serious about this walk, turn that stuff off if that's what's getting you. I don't care what they're saying. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care. Let it go. Because it's not necessarily just the height of the vibration that you allow around you, meaning only let good stuff come in. Sometimes you got to put a little bit of that bass in it. I don't care. And when you put a little bit of that bass in it and you say, okay, that's it, I'm just going to trust you. And then you put your feet down, you plant your feet. You just get your feet nice and steady. And you say, I'm not going to move because I'm trusting you. And I'm waiting for you to perform your word in my life. And that's what we got to do. So it's going to get heavy. Yes, it's going to have. Let's get all the crying and the boo-hoo out. It's going to get heavy. Oh, it's going to. And it is. It is now. But the obedience to his word and trusting him is what make the difference. That's what made the difference for her. That's what's made the difference for you in the past. And that's what's going to continue to make the difference. Because you see, it's day by day, day by day, day by day, by day by day. If I tell you right now some of the stuff that the devil has thrown in my direction, baby, he will want nothing more than for me to sit right here today and whine and cry and not even get up here and minister. But you know what? The more he throw, the more I'm going to talk about the Father. Hey, I must be doing something right because I'm on your radar. But guess what? I trust him and him alone. And I'm going to continue to lift you all up as you all have lifted me up and my family up. So this is the day that we have to live in and understand that in these days and in these times, there's going to be adversity. There's going to be terrible things that's going to come our way. It's not always going to be a bed of roses. But in as much as we have lived this life, we got to remember where we came from, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and let him have the glory and let him be who he is. Just trust him. Stand still. I always say none of this stuff took him by surprise. Not none of it. Go ahead, Anthony. I'm going to go ahead and put some of these comments on the screen while you impart some words of wisdom.
You hit it right on the head with the word obedience. It's interesting, drop the G, because I wasn't sure about the word off the hop. Was it too much? Was it, overkill? Was it? No, it's correct. I mean, it's interesting. We need to hear it right now. Obedience that says, wise patience. When that material contributor tries to put you on a horse you don't not prepared to get on, not even sure why you're getting on it yet, to get you riding, to take a breath. Yeah, take the contributor out of it by seeing it, and not always what we do, but just what we don't do. It's kind of the body's reflection of not partaking. Yeah, peaceful non-compliance, and filling that void with the walk that's principled in faith that says we all count, we need each other. And obedience, played out body machine, what we do with our digis, end user. The neurological is miraculous, of course, yet it's secondary to that spiritual Wi-Fi of what we're generated from. It's interesting, the creator spoke the word, the vibration, the frequency into the universe to ignite everything you just built. And the chicken and the egg came at the same time, just my thinking on that, and the mountains began to erode from that point forward. And we're like this continual wave of evolving creation, creating evolutionary. The connection of that vibration again, and we're right down to the end user of what we do with our digis and that. overviewing ourselves, once again, joysticking ourselves in third person through the day, in the sense of filtered by a faith in that creator, that reverence for all created life. It's interesting. We're moved away from that. The witness is removed. The play on that being an importance at all. That we must be one of all kinds of species and alien life into the universe without any real proof of that. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. Yet almost in a way that tries to take away the reverence for us, because the things we're asked to do in turning the screws in this contrived day, we wouldn't do lest the removal of empathy. It's pretty telling. And our faith re-injects that. It counts everybody. Um, it's about all of us. It's the free speeches of the day. It's the informed consent of the day. It says you can say what you want to say, that, especially if I disagree with it, because it gives all of us the right to say it. Denying others is denying ourselves, the simplicities. If we can work those into the schematic, the technological schematic, political quote unquote schematic, um, insert that word advocacy, that's a collaborative of community. It's actually an action word again. Interesting, has faith in such simple ways, because we keep in on that word simple, inserts that Occam's razor simple. Perhaps it's not a parallel universe. Perhaps the material world is as it displays itself, and our posterity is our say in faith or not. Body machine kind of way. Yeah, we're paintbrush to the moving canvas of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's all art, or it's not. It's synthetic or it's not. It's
There you
organic,
go.
it's natural, or it's not. It's artificial, right?
Yep.
Or it's live off the floor as it gets, and the only real time that counts.
Yep.
Perhaps we'll find our way in this day where we'll find a balance of the technological and the practical witness checks and balances.
Mm-hmm.
We're finding our way there that may collaborate all of this. Maybe it's not a this or that. It's possible. It's always about people, either including them or finding ways to exclude them. So we're always in a conversation. What a coincidence. Light vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Movement comes first, right? So that once again, spiritual Wi-Fi, wherever it comes from, we're all connected by that initial spark that turned it all on, that continual wave. And that's something to be reverent to. Yet, how far out in space do you really have to go? Just in my opinion, it's
Mm-hmm.
great looking stuff, but to realize that the answers are here, and it's so telling. What tries so hard and it's contributing to pull us off that, to once again get us to turn the screws, because we're the screw turners in this, to do it to each other,
Mm-hmm.
lose each other. Simplicity of faith brings it back.
Hmm.
Vibration.
There's a comment that's on the screen. Can you see it from where you are? It says problems are just challenges to teach us everything bad has always helped me down the road. She says that Righteous Broomstick. It's a great name, by the way. Problems
So,
are just challenges to teach us. Everything bad has always helped me
so
down the road.
adversity was created with solutions in mind.
Yep.
We want a flashlight to be the brightest. We got to take it to the darkest place we can find. We
Yep.
want great change. We have to point ourselves in the area of great adversity. That's
Yep.
where change is.
I
So
agree.
isn't it? It's interesting how the contributing once again tries to pull us off from those simple realizations. Change is where adversity lay,
Yeah.
and that's the middle ground way. That faith and scripture, especially in the way that Brother Ronnie and yourself relay it, it
The way that
collaborates.
brother Ronnie lays it down. See, you know
Oof.
what? I'm going to tell you something. What I appreciate so much about my brother, and I wish that he was here. He sent a message that he's not available for another couple of hours, but if I could just hang out and wait, I would, because I would love to hear him break this down again. And if he has to come back on for a midnight oil, even if we're just recording it, and if y'all can't come, I understand it. But here's the deal: my brother Ronnie comes from one perspective. My brother Lee comes from a different perspective, and I come from a different perspective. But along the way, it's something for everyone, and it to me it just completes the whole story. Does that make sense? It's like these different pieces of the puzzle, of the same exact puzzle, but the way Ronnie brings it is only the way that Ronnie can bring it. The way that Lee brings it is only way. It's each one of us working in the place that Yah has for us. And that's what we were talking about earlier, finding where it is that you're supposed to be, especially for right now. Okay? You may not be, at a place of knowing how to do the Sabbaths, every single, all the time, the way you're supposed to. You may not be there yet, but you're getting there. You may not understand the cultures and the different things that you're supposed to do and the why. Okay, and any of that. You may not understand any of that, but that's all right. You're working at it. You're getting in there. You're understanding. And see, it's the obedience piece that brought all the blessings of what we just read. And if you look back in your life, you'll see that it's the obedience pieces that helped you in the past. Here's another comment. Let's see here. Righteous Broomstick is hilarious. Oh, it's the end of the world, Maureen says. Well, don't be so positive here. Anarchy Television. Okay, and it says that last week I was checking my email and I heard open that email. It was a community group that I'm on. This girl had asked if there was a food pantry open, and I heard in my spirit ask if they needed food. See, obedience. Because see, here's the thing. We're all thinking, oh, God got him. God got him. God got him. Yah's got him. He'll take care of him. He'll take care of him. But he said men shall give. She's giving. The woman gave when she took care of him. Yah told her, and she was obedient. He can't do anything without these. Conversely, the kingdom of darkness can't do anything without these. You better understand it. Okay? So let's see. None of us are greater than all of us. We all have our own talent, skills, and passions. Hallelujah. I need you to get in touch with me because I think we could all use some nice items. Yes, I do. All right. So we're at 47 minutes and 53 seconds. And I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out with us. As you know, I'm running over here and over here because I got to be a good steward. And I got to go over here and love on these. Then I got to go over here and love on these. Then I got to come over and love on y'all. And y'all help me. You really do. You guys have no clue how, but you really, 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 really do. And I'm so glad that you guys are in my life. I really am. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're in my life, Brother Anthony. I'm so glad all of you, Betty R., Amy Duran, Marty Lauderdale, Maureen Olson. I'm so glad that Anarchy Television. I'm so glad that Steve. I'm so glad that Righteous Broomstick with a name is in my life. I'm so glad that Amy is in my life. I'm so glad that Sandy Aaron is in my life. Reading some names, the same names again, but I don't care. I'm happy. And I praise Yah for you guys. Because I tell you what, I would not want to be in the trenches with anybody else but y'all. Real talk, for real, for real. All right? For real, for real. So as you guys can all feel that there is a shift and there's a change, I'm sure that everybody has felt it. We're experiencing a pole shift right now. Just dig deep. Don't let Yah's word go. Dig deep. Dig deep. We're about to clear out of here, Brother Anthony. What would you like to add?
Well, yes, I love your soul, good sister friend Felicia, and all of the Lockhart Perspective community family crew, as we proof the pudding that the Creator is the Mac Daddy, the EMF. And I've heard your brother Lee a few times in his translation, and his take on that is so acute to the longevity and posterity of the word and the contemporary day. And then Brother Ronnie, the man of the word, MANN of the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
There he is. This Elijah story is a metaphor for the Feast of Tabernacles. Elijah brings the Spirit, you give your first fruits, and then your generations will be raised from the dead at the end time, you will feast. Hey! Coco Loco, what's going on, sisters? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in so long. I watched some of your videos. They were too cute. Yes, Brother Ronnie, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Okay. How do you know when to fight the wrong, or when to fight or walk away? A woman I will not know a woman that I did not know spoke viciously against me and delete. And what is this? What does that say? And delayed court over 11 and a half years. So how do you know when to fight or when to walk away? Huh. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. You know when to fight or when not to. You know when to fight and you know when to walk away. What makes me stay in the fight when I know I should have turned around is my pride. And then I end up dealing with some mess because I didn't walk away when I knew to walk away. Just real talk. What makes me get in my mess is when I should have walked away. And I knew when I should have walked away. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we can be hurt. Sometimes it can be a matter of the heart. If it's a love situation and we don't let go when we should let go, when that person's already showed us that they got to go and they're only being nice because they know we real nice and they just holding on because they don't want to be the one to say goodbye because they don't want to be the one to hurt you. There's a lot of ways that we know when we're supposed to let stuff go. There's a lot of ways. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. But there's a lot of times when we know we should let something go, and sometimes we do it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's a especially if it's relationships, especially if it's man and woman relationship, or friend and friend relationship. A lot of times when we know that something is not good for us, sometimes our ego makes us stick it out when we should have just left it alone. We have this desire to not be a quitter, when being a quitter sometimes can help us live a longer life without the stress. Without the stress. So sometimes it's okay to let it go. I feel that way also, to walk away, but then I think she needs to know you cannot butt into someone's life. Well, we all got a little Karen around us. We all have a little Mrs. Kravitz somewhere. There's a Mrs. Kravitz somewhere. Anthony, everybody got a Mrs. Kravitz. Everybody's got one.
When to step on it and when to lay back.
Mm-hmm.
And see that in yourself is empowering, because it's one of the few places we can do anything about it and stuff, is when we can identify what in ourselves we can course correct. Because there's so much in the world place, more and more in our contemporary day, that we have no say in. And it seems to be flailing in the wind. Yet when we can recognize it in ourselves, we can do that part of change that we have a say in. It's empowering. It's a high in itself. Recovery has that same sort of feel where you get control again. That's a high in itself, where you've got some vice that's leading you along. Faith brings that in the day, that awareness of that, which is a faith in eyes that see. Yeah, it wakes you up. It has that play on it. Fascinating. It's more than just a word. We said in the earlier show, it's not a noun. Faith is not a noun. It's an action word. Nice. Appreciate you this evening. Appreciate all the crew this evening. Thanks.
Well, it was great to see you, and it was great to be with you. And I like the whole tableau, the man in the dark. I like it, but I saw your face earlier, so there's that. I really like it. I like that you're here. I will let God deal with her. You said very good. Oops, mistreatment, not Mister. I pity her for being so sad. Well, you know what, Righteous Broomstick? This is the first time I think any of us have seen you here. And I just want to tell you that it is one thing that we all do for each other here. We all lift each other up, all right? And there's a lot of bad people that are out there. You talk about people you've never seen before. I get people that throw darts at me all the time. and they don't know that I'm that I got some snappy comebacks too. So see, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But what I know is that it depends on who this person is to you. You said you don't know them. You also said that it's been for years that they've held something up in court. Am I to understand that correctly? You said that it's for years that they've held something up in court. Huh? I think that's what you said. Let me go back up here and see, because then I can answer you a little bit better. Okay, let's see. Lied against me and delayed court over 11 years. 11 and a half years? Retype that so that I get a clear understanding, because I don't want to be saying something and not be, accurate to what you're talking about. Oh, she cost you. You pity her for being so sad. Cost you. She cost you money. Okay. Okay, you seen him, Ronnie. Okay, because I've never seen Righteous Broomstick. Although I do like that name. 1.5 years. Okay. Here's what you got to do. I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes you just have to just leave it to Yah, put it in his hands, because yes, that is a sad person that will continuously harm you. The irony is that you've never seen them. So basically what you're dealing with is a spirit of something, right? Yeah? You're dealing with a spirit that's dealing with you. Poppy Love, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Hey everyone, late, but just wanted to say hello and hope that you're all doing well. Yes, we are. We have none other than Anthony with us tonight. Anthony Van Zandt is with us. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. Righteous Broomstick, without knowing all the particulars, or at least a stronger gist. It's hard, but the only thing that I could tell you is, you know what? Sometimes you just got to walk it out. You got to walk it out. But again, you say you don't know the person. You've never seen the person. So that's even tougher. A year and a half? A year and a half. Wow. Is it something that you guys are in court over? I have them attack me? Oh, they've attacked you in the cyber world, or in your, well, not your physical life, because you've never seen them. Is this a cyber attack that you're going through, baby? What kind of attack is it? Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm sorry. Everybody in the chat will let you know that I'm literally blonde under this. I don't mean blonde as in blonde anymore. I mean, I get a little vacant sometimes. And my brother Ronnie and my brother Anthony, they know how I am. And everybody else who loves me know I get a little vacant. So I'm sorry. But you know what? All I would say is that that you need to just really just pass that over to Yah. That's what I would say. She stuck her nose into my life to delay my inheritance. That means that it's a spirit, baby. That person is being manipulated by a spirit. And if you say you don't know this person, then apparently it may be like a relative that is gone away, and this person is trying to hold up whatever the relative had for you. If that's the case, then you need to truly and honestly give it to Yah and watch him do it. Watch him do it. Yeah, that's a mean-spirited person. That's not nice at all. Thank you, Anthony. So sorry. I don't think I said hi earlier. My mind is a bit mush, I think. LOL. Not enough sleep the last 2 days. Thank you, brother, for joining tonight. I really enjoyed the discussion. God bless you, she says. Anthony Van Zandt. That's sweet. Always put all of your ducks in order. Put your best foot forward. Ask Yahweh to go before you and let what happens. Hallelujah. That's right. Hey, Poppy Love. Good to see you. Thank you, Marty. I love you, Marty. I love you, Marty. Hey, my girl. Thank you, Marty, baby. All right, you guys, we're about to get out of here. It's been an hour. It's literally 59 minutes. You know, I don't like to go over an hour because we've already been together for like the first hour. We hung out with I thank you guys all for going over with me, because we were scheduled at first for 6 o'clock. And then I realized that brother was on. And so I didn't want to get it all mixed up. So we went over and we kicked it. Okay. Marty, we went over and we kicked it with Jacob Israel, because it was a very good show he did. So we pushed our show back by 45 minutes. So thank y'all for going over there with me. And thank you guys who already watching for hanging out and then coming back over to TLP. And then thank you for being here at 8:30. And thank you so much for the love offering that you gave to me this evening, Amy. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Anthony, I hope that you can come back and kick it with me for a couple more Fridays and hang out with your girl. I would love that. You want to do that again?
Yeah, let's do that again.
Let's do it again. Okay, so you guys, we love each and every one of you. Remember what we always say here on the Lockhart Perspective and any of the Felicia Lockhart Group publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. Take care of yourselves, please. Mamas, daddies, take care of yourselves and then take care of everybody else around you. And until we see each other again, please continue to be blessed.
Lockhart Perspective.